So this one's called Bee Sting. A bee stung the finger right above the wedding ring she put there 5 years ago. My first thought was, this is a bad omen. Could hear my grandmother spit 3 times and worry the sting until I forgot the pain. There I was tossing crumbs, my sins, into Rock Creek for Toshleaf when it found me and stung. A friend had just revealed she was pregnant, due in a few months. My finger swelled a pinpointed pain. I swatted the yellow and black away, clutched my hand and winced. My friends opened their purses and pockets to withdraw pills, ointments, essential oils. One sees my eyes full of fear, reassures me bees make honey, you know. In other words, pain but sweetness too. Months of discomfort will be worth it. The prods and pricks, what's a little sting? My first invisible pregnancy lasted 7 weeks. I watched a yolk sac float on a screen tucked into a thick uterine lining give way to no heartbeat. Empty explanations fail to plug holes that continue to leak. We speak feverishly of births and abortions, but not all the ways a woman can house the full span of life and death in between. The half-lies, the almost words she also carries. I run a bit of water into a dish, mix baking soda into paste to ease the swollen finger. It will heal. Thanks. And because it's been apparently 1 year since the Supreme Court overturned Roe versus Wade, a messed up anniversary of sorts, I'm going to read one poem that's not in the book that I wrote last year. And actually, I wrote this originally in 2005. It was called Pro-Choice Women's March. And now it's called After the Supreme Court Took Away My Rights, 2022. Walking amidst nearly 1 million people in 2005, we held our heads high. We were country women, city women, young women, older women, working women, feminist men, Black women, Latinx women, Asian women, Native women, trans women, women carrying children and babies. We were so many and so peaceful. We sang and walked for our rights. On either side, horseback-mounted police looked down or over us. Behind them, men and women waved crosses nailed with signs, Jesus saves and abortion is genocide. A man with a megaphone shouted religious phantoms into frozen air. A woman cried murderer with an accusing stare. Shame on you, Congress, a speaker said at the time. They could say it again today in a different year for the same crime, for lack of access to birth control, for no access to the pills we need to survive, for trying to stop women crossing state lines, for a 10-year-old rape victim fleeing to the free side, for denial that people have sex for fun, for denial that women have always ended pregnancies one way or another, for denying people who have abortions love the children they already have, for playing judge and jury, for telling women what is right and wrong inside their own organs. The morality you issue to yourself about God's work is littered with the dead bodies of women you say are a political agenda, or with women you call murderers because they are poor, or black, or brown. Special shame, Justice Kavanaugh. You know, not all men cover her mouth to prevent her from screaming. Some just go home. Miss Justice Alito, Selective Justice Thomas, Gutless Gorsuch, no visible leadership, Chief Roberts, missing the point, Justice Barrett. While you're living supposedly pure lives going to church, you did not even stain a shirt writing away my rights. Some young woman just ran to the bathroom to heave her guts, will now consider ending her life, so sleep tight. When shame is not lessened by the sun, it scabs over until you itch it enough to draw blood. At least before it was blood on the surface of the skin, not within, dripping from a vagina or cervix. It's no longer your choice, bodies with wounds. should now be jailed or killed for someone else's truth. And rich white women still have a choice. White women weren't sterilized or told there should be no more of those kinds of babies. If it ever was your daughter, will you turn your head away in shame? Say she'll burn with the Salem witches? Will you cast the first stone on her bloated and nauseous body? Will you disown your aunt when you find out her 22-year-old self made a mistake? God forbid now your daughter, wife, sisters, cousins is molested or raped or has a complicated pregnancy in the wrong state. Show me your devout gods. We have gods too. We have faith and we see through you. We will continue to litter your lawn with glitter-covered bodies, pink boas, t-shirts and signs, giant rainbows of messages of love and protest. We belong to each other in deviance and compassion. We have traveled this far and we will not give up our rights laying down, getting fucked by your propaganda, so dish it out and we will light it up. Thank you. The next one is something called an ekphrastic poem. It's a poem about a different piece of art. It can be about any kind of piece of art, but this is a piece of art by Frida Kahlo, and it's called Third Viewing of Two Fridas, Philadelphia Museum of Art. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Take care. You worked with organs because your bones were all cracked. Look how a vein sweeps over your shoulder like a shawl. The heart exists outside your body like a cloud you could watch float by. You hold your own hand, your organs inside out and flushed, red, wet, and beating, the parts that worked and fed you, the parts that bleed and love. What use are bones anyway but to house the life that beats between the bars? Your bars were broken and you beat right into the mirror, onto the canvas for all to see. Trivial, some would say, a woman alone in pain paints herself. Trivial, a woman alone in pain. Trivial, a woman alone with her organs and bones alive and beating on pages. Frida, even as your body raged, your bones twisted, your womb collapsed, you painted for yourself a dress of stained linen next to a more innocent you. She offered and you took your own hand as she pinched to stop the bleeding that threatened to end you. And these are my friends. Thank you, friends, for coming. I know you're doing the whole time, but I appreciate it. And in the beginning of the book, I thank my spouse right here, Michelle. Oh my God, he's going to kill me for drawing attention. Anyway, here's a couple poems about my mom. My mother and the maple tree. The old maple tree in the front yard of my childhood home is half naked in the early winter chill. I go home to cover my body with gloves, socks, slippers, scarves, try to deny the years that nip at my eyes and hands. I help my mother pick out books on heart disease from the library. I know bodies fail. I know they wither, become frail, hunched and shrunken. Yet the age of a tree shows inside, rings, growth, girth. An upright trunk with roots stretched out may still be a tree dying. Shades of yellow creep up on pinnate leaves, branches sway, spots of hardwood show bare through holes along the bark. My mother sits in a brimmed purple winter hat, eats a sliced apple. As I watch her pick up each sweet wedge, I whisper a silent prayer to the temple of her, for her hidden heart. I'm just grateful to be able to do this poem, which is a longer poem, but is really for my mom, who's still around, thankfully. I can call her all the time. So, why I studied in Israel for a year. I went to find you, Mom, in the persimmons, in your cousins, in your friends still alive, in their children, in their memories of you. I ate salad for breakfast like you said you did. I went to the beach where you said you used to go every weekend to eat chocolate-covered banana popsicles. All these memories I collect from you as an adult, I hoard like heirlooms in the hope chest of my heart. I relied on a diagram at the granite gravestones of your parents, Genya and Moshe, to help navigate endless rows and columns of Hebrew. The words all phonetic, unreadable to me, like you were, for my first 18 years, until I knew to demand answers. Your childhood was sifted through stolen dreams, erased history, survivor nightmares, aftermath. You did not speak child, playful innocence. You did not speak poetic dreamer, hammock swing. I did not speak your mother tongue or your mother's mother tongue. You escaped into books when you could. You lived near a library and could borrow 2 at a time. You read books, I read books. 2 different languages, always seeking, not just the sound, but meaning. And you are, not just you kept memories from me, tried to protect me from what? From you? I searched for you in language, I dreamed you, listened for you. What did your silence mean? There must be a reason you hid devastation in the folds of your heart. I finally learned your father was alone in a hospital the night before the surgeon was scheduled to fix his heart. He told you to leave, go back to your family in America, to me, a baby less than 1, your thighs barely dry from my birth. Your father jumped off a balcony before his heart could be repaired. Then you had to bury him. Your mother already dead from a heart attack. My brother only 3 years old. I did not know until I asked, kept asking. Your parents used to call you Esterle. Your mother Genya could not bear to hear the German language, refused to go back for the restitution money. Did your parents ever find peace? In Poland, in Givatayim, in death? They survived a war to reach Israel. Yiddish-tinged Hebrew held nightmares of dead sisters, brothers, fathers, mothers. I searched for you, mother. In black and white photos, your long, straight, dark hair framed huge red square plastic-rimmed glasses from the 80s, a fitted, striped sweater and maxi skirt. You clutch a folio case of drawings you carry door to door to find an architecture job in America. I searched in your Carnegie Mellon full scholarship, in your American Jewish boyfriend, my dad, full of boyish enthusiasm, disco, and public policy. You met in a parking lot. He asked if you were Israeli. Your guilt at leaving your parents in Israel hangs like an anvil above your life. A truth you walk miles around only to reach the start. You cannot outrun your losses, your griefs. You left the country that shaped you, but you shaped me. I sounded you out, Mom. I found you. I'm found. Thank you all for listening to that one. That's very near and dear to my heart. And I don't think I've ever read it out loud. So 2 more. One more heavy one more light one. So the title piece is Built of All I Shape and Name. The gifts my mother gave me, books on shelves, a garden watered. These are treasures, but just as worthy was the dirt beneath. The gift my mother tried to give me, her American child, was silence. My mother tried to bury her fears, but at 38, now 39, I prune and tend those lush, leafy potted plants smelling of girlhood dreams. I sit content in my own home, built of all I shape and name. Born to Holocaust survivor parents who relived death over and over after fascism failed to kill them, these parents urged my mother to be a dutiful daughter, warned her not to marry for love, but whomever will have you first. Unsaid, those you love too easily die. Do not swim or ride a bike. Life is not amusement. For them, clouds were not clouds, but smoke. Instead, my mother finished her test first with perfect scores, took the full scholarship to Pittsburgh, PA, moved to a new home, fell in love with my American father and architecture, built stability out of steel beams and concrete foundation. On a basement drafting table, my mother finds her instruments, pencil, compass, three-sided ruler. My mother architect designs strong, solid structures that withstand. Perhaps my mother thought silence could stop the flow of fear to her womb. For years it worked. I slept peaceful sleep, wrote poems to birds chirping in treetops, believed my arms, wings ready to fly. I could not fall until I did. My own nest took many years to build, decades to weave together the question I needed to ask and answer. Why did my skin crawl with fear? I carried carefully chosen twigs of inexplicable superstitions in my maw, found colorful scraps crawling on hands and knees amidst weeds, pricked my fingers on evergreen blades hidden in the dead of winter, observed a dandelion in a sidewalk crack stepped on hundreds of times grow. Thanks. I'll end with a piece that Reggie alluded to.
Yes, I love it.
Okay, great. Good thing I mentioned my laugh in there. Okay, we'll see. We'll see how I can do. It's called Apology for the I'm Sorries. I apologize for the I'm sorries that escape my mouth in advance of saying almost anything. The apology I give because I am the wrong kind of woman, wrong size, wrong sex, wrong sexuality. I mean, I am short, squat. My belly protrudes over top my jeans. I apologize for a clitoris that feels pleasure when plucked. I apologize for my speech. I'm sorry for my aggressive tone, meaning louder than you, or meaning too confident, or that I believe in what I'm saying. I apologize for my opinions, that I have them in the first place about most things, that I dare to say them, or argue my rightness and your wrongness, or speak at all in a room full of talking men or a room full of quiet women. I apologize for my volume being too brash, for my cackle laugh, for how I'm dressed in a slogan t-shirt and too short mom jeans or too tight jeans, for my butt not being tight or high enough, for my breasts being different sizes, for the blood falling out of my vagina for not being dressed up enough. For my hair being too kinky or too curly or straightened or not, for my makeup being applied incorrectly, too little eyeliner, too much foundation, not blended in, not enough rouge, or not applied at all, for the hairs on my upper lip which are not blonde, for the stain of chocolate ice cream on my pants, for the chip with salsa I just dropped onto the carpet, for the insult that flew too quickly out of my mouth. I apologize in advance before I say what I think. I apologize in case what I say makes you or the room uncomfortable. I apologize for the truth I feel compelled to speak. I apologize to myself for over-apologizing. My God, I am so sorry all of the damn time for what I feel, for what I do not feel. How the hell did I learn to give a fuck so often? I am so good at feeling so bad. Learned so young to be a good girl, to feel sorry for being bad. Being bad is one who does not follow the rules. I follow them. But what, in a day full of apologies, can an apology even mean? Thanks, y'all.
Jessica getting assignment.